Good morning, dear students. I welcome you all in our next lecture of economic zoology, under which chapter 2, that is economic importance of insects. We have already studied economic importance of sericulture as well as the economic importance of apiculture. We have already studied. And in our previous lecture, or we can say in our last lecture, we have studied the life cycle of lac insects. It's different types of species included in it. The species of black insect observed in India, right, as well as their host plant that we have already studied in our previous lecture. The host plant that we already studied in our previous lecture. Now, in the present lecture, we'll be studying the economic importance of lac culture, why one should go for the lac culture, as well as what are the profit or we can say benefits of lac culture. This we're going to study in the present lecture. Let's move ahead. Okay. So lac products, properties and their uses, right? So number of different types of lac products are enlisted here in the present PPT. The first is lac dye. So this lac dye is a pigment present in the lac insect hemolymph, which is called as a lactic acid. What is it? It is actually the pigment present in the hemolymph of a lac insect, which is called as a lactic acid, or it is also called as a lac dye. Alright, this is again non-toxic and finds numerous application in textile industries as well as in the pharmaceutical as well as in the food industries. It is used to color the wool as well as silk. Alright. Even the qualitative and quantitative variation in the lac insect dye have been observed, that is from the color crimson to yellow to albino to cream body color. So there is a variation in the quality as well as quantity of the lac dye observed amongst the lac insects, right? So this lac dye, the lac dye present in the resin, that is erythrolacin, also varies depending upon the lac insect and the host plant on which it feeds. So depend on that again the quality is going to differ. Even to enhance the color of the lac dye, some mordant are also used, and because of the use of the mordant, the color of the lac dye can be purple red, it can be brown, it can be often. That is totally depend upon the mordant used, which type of mordant is used. Even it is also used in the food beverages industry for coloring. To color the beverages or you can say drinks, this lac dyes can be used, right? Because it is having some properties like it is non-toxic. Okay, so it can be used in the beverages industries as well as in food industries to color the food material or beverages. Nowadays, it is not means कि all the beverages or food they are having this lac dye as a coloring agent. But what nowadays this lac dye is replaced by the synthetic dye. So synthetic dyes are used in the food and beverages instead of this lac dyes nowadays. So this is also the situation. Then the next product is lac wax. So it is a mixture of higher alcohols, acids and their esterases, and it is used in polishes applied on the shoes, floor, automobiles, etc. Even in the food industry also, as well as in the drug tablets, finishing of the tablets, this lac wax is used. Even for the cosmetics, that is lipstick preparation of the lipstick, this wax dyes can be used. Even the wax crayons are also can be prepared with this lac wax. The number of applications of lac wax are there, we have seen them. Now the next is shellac. Third product is the shellac. Now this shellac is what? Shellac is a natural gum resin, and it is, as it is natural and non-toxic, physiologically it is harmless. So it can be called as a edible resin. Why? Because it is natural one, it is non-toxic as well as non-harmful. So it can be used for the food industry as well as it can be used in the medicinal industry. So it can be treated as a edible resin. This shellac is a hard and tough, amorphous as well as a brittle resin containing small amount of wax and a substance responsible for its characteristic present odor. So it contains a little amount of wax as well as a pleasant odor containing substance. Okay. Even this shellac also shows a color variation, that is from dark red to light yellow. Okay. And it shows as this is, we can see the thermoplastic. It is called as a thermoplastic. Why? Because it shows variation in the form according to temperature. So it gets softened at the temperature 65 to 70 degrees Celsius, right? It is a thermoplastic, so it is gets softened at a temperature 65 to 70 degrees Celsius, and it melts at the temperature 84 to 90 degrees Celsius. Even we can say it is UV resistant. It is one of the best UV resistant compound. It has an excellent dielectric properties, even dielectric strength and a low dielectric constant. Even it has a good tracking resistance power. Okay, so it has an excellent film forming properties. It is it's a film shows excellent adhesion to wide variety of substances. Okay, in this it get attached firmly to any kind of substances, any kind of surfaces. So it has got the, because of this it has got the excellent film forming capacity, as well as along with this all good properties it also shows a high gloss, even hardness is there and strength is also there, right? Let's see what are the uses of this shellac. In It is used in fruit industries, or you can say it is used in food industries for the coating of the fruits as well as food components. Just for example, we can say for the citric or citrus fruits as well as for the apple. Okay. Um Even for the parting and grazing agents of the sweets, even chocolates, etc., are also wrapped or coated in the shellac, okay, covering of the shellac. It is also used as a binder for foodstuff, stamp, stamp ink. For example, for the cheese and eggs, it is used as a binder for the cheese and egg, right? Then it is used in the pharmaceutical industries, that is for coating for the tablets. Okay, so along with that, for the manufacturing of the photographic material, it is been used. Even apart from these four listed uses of the shellac, number of other uses of the shellac are also there. Just like it is used for the used by the jewelers and goldsmiths. Okay, for filling or as a filling material in the hollows in ornaments. Even it is used for preparation of the toys, buttons, pottery, as well as artificial leathers. It is been used. Along with that, it is also used commonly as a sealing wax. Okay, so the shellac is having number of properties, number of uses in day-to-day life because it shows certain useful properties, right? It is toughened, it is hard, as well as a brittle, natural, non-toxic resin. Even its thermoplasticity is also playing important role. Excellent film forming capacity is one of the characteristics that make it feasible to use to apply it on any kind of surfaces, right? So shellac is again one of the component of, or you can say one of the product of the lac culture, which is used in market or which is used in varieties of industries. Okay, let's move ahead and see what is next. Bleached shellac. Now, this bleached shellac is again non-toxic, physiologically harmless. Why? It is again prepared from the shellac. Okay, so it is non-toxic. It carries most of the properties of a shellac. Okay, non-toxic, physiologically harmful, hence it is can be called as a edible, and it is widely used in food industries, food packaging, as well as similar kind of industries. Apart from this characteristic, bleached shellac is also used for its qualities. What qualities it has? It has a best binding quality, even best adhesive, as well as hardening, gloss, even odorless and fast drying. Okay, as well as it has a long life. Because of these qualities, it has been used in varieties of the industries. As it is bleached shellac means what? It is bleached, so it is white in color, right? So whatever shellac color the shellac we have, but it is undergone bleaching processes, so it becomes colorless or white. Hence it is clear, transparent, or very light colored. Okay, compound. So let's see what are the uses of this bleached shellac. So it is used in food industries, that is for the food packaging, as well as packaging of the we can say chocolates, we can say stored foods, even the Tetra Pak packets also there. Okay, then in the paint industry, it is used as a primer for a plastic parts as well as a plastic films, right? It is used as a primer in the paint industry. In aluminium industry, again it is used as a primer for aluminium as well as for the aluminium foil. It is used as a primer. Then in case of a pharmaceutical industry, for coating of the pills or tablets, as well as for the preparation of gel caps and coating for the controlled release preparation. So those we can say the capsules, right? Capsules which are coated with some kind of a plastic material. It is mixed with or prepared from this bleached shellac partly, because it is a non-toxic thermoplastic, and it keeps the compound protected inside it, right? So for the preparation of coating of the pills as well as tablets and gel caps, even coating for the controlled release preparation, this bleached shellac can be used in the pharmaceuticals. Even apart from this, in the textile industries, it is used as a textile auxiliaries and as felt that even it is used as a toughening agent in the textile industries. In the plastic industries, it is again used as a primer for the plastic parts and films, right? So what it means, bleached shellac is basically used as a primer in many industries like in the paint, aluminium, textiles, even in the plastic industries. And in the rubber industries, it also has its applications. It is additive to the natural rubbers. Okay, in the rubber industry, it is used as an additive. Even in the cosmetic industry, it is used in the hair sprays, even hair and uh, hair shampoos, as well as binder for the mascaras. What mascara which we put on our eyes, that also shows presence of the bleached shellac as a binder. Okay, so this bleached shellac, I have listed only 9 applications, but apart from that, it has a number of applications in different industries, right? But nowadays, the picture is slightly going to change because this lac insect, okay, the cosmetic industries, many other industries, they are going to increase with a very rapidly, and the amount of insects they are not, or this amount of lac culture is not as much grown as like in other industries they are growing. So instead of using this all natural products, they are using synthetic product maximum, right? Okay, now let's move ahead and see what is next. Dewaxed bleached shellac. So this dewaxed white shellac or bleached shellac is used in same way as any other grade of the shellac can be used. So the major difference between this shellac and the others is that it is a little bit harder. This dewaxed bleached shellac is little bit harder. It is shines and it is brighter also, and is completely free from the wax, hence called as a dewaxed bleached shellac. So this bleached lac has a super characteristics of all as well as a superior quality of all. That is, it is a good adhesive, even binding, hardening, gloss, and odorless. These are these qualities which are superior to other forms of the lac, okay, or shellac. Now, apart from this, it has again a good film forming properties and a high gloss and excellent adhesion to a variety of substances or varieties of the substrates, including human hairs. It can easily get attached with the human hairs, right? And it is non-toxic and physiologically harmless again. See, all the products of the lac, they are physiologically non-toxic and harmless. So as they are natural products, they are directly used. It can also be dissolved in the water by adding an alkali like ammonia. When we mixed, if you want to dissolve this shellac into a water, so what do you have to do? We have to mix the alkali like ammonia into water, and then it can easily get dissolved. Now let's see what are the applications of dewaxed bleached shellac. Okay, now this dewaxed bleached shellac is used in again food industry for the coating of the fruits as well as vegetables. Even it is used in the pharmaceutical industries for the coating of tablets and capsules. Even it is used in the cosmetics for the preparation of the just like hairspray, okay, that is pump sprays or aerosol sprays, even hair setting lotions which we apply, okay, that also includes presence of the bleached dewaxed shellac. Even the hair shampoos, mascaras, eyeliner, nail polishes, lipsticks, right, like that, even perfumes also that uses the dewaxed bleach shellac. So this all products of the lac industry, they are very useful in other industries also, right? Now let's see the next product, that is aleurotic acid. So this aleurotic acid is nothing but 9,10,16 trinidrozilpamitic acid. It is often, I know the name is little difficult to read. It is obtained from the shellac again, okay, uh, by saponification process, and it is unique acid containing 3 hydroxy groups, of which 2 are of the adjacent carbons. All right, so it is nothing but a white powder or granular, and it is moderately soluble in hot water or lower alcohols like methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol also, and crystallizes out on cooling the solution. When it gets liquefies, and then when it allowed to cool down, it get crystallized very quickly. Even a technical grade of aleurotic acid shows 99% purity and is a slight yellow and almost odorless solid substance, right? Let's see its uses. Okay, there is mm, Okay, it is observed in, or it is found to be used in the perfumery as well as in the pharmaceutical. So there is a continuous growing demand for this aleurotic acid in the field of perfumery as well as in the field of pharmaceuticals, due to it being an excellent starting material for the synthesis of the civetone, okay, as well as many other substances. All right, so civetone or ambretolide, like that, many other substances which are used as a used in the perfumery as a odor substances, or you can say um, musk like substances. Okay, so these substances are derived from this uh, aleurotic acid. Hence this aleurotic acid is being used in the perfumery as well as in the pharmaceutical industries. So civetone is obtained from the shellac aleurotic acid, and it is used for manufacturing of the perfumes, and is very much in demand with the perfume manufacturing companies in even France, Italy, Germany, USA, like that. Okay. Uh, Apart from this, this aleurotic acid also shows applications in plastic preparation of the plastic, as it is a good adhesive. It has a good adhesive property by the condensation of aleurotic acid with the phthalic anhydride and glycerin as well as with the resin. It helps to form the plastic, so it can be used in the plastic preparation. Even apart from this, aleurotic acid esters used in the preparation of the lacquers, even the fibers can be prepared from this, right? That's all about the product of the lac industry. Let's see what is next. Potential of India in lac culture. Okay, so as we know that India is the principal lac producing country of the world, right? So India produces approximately 18,000 metric tons of unrefined raw lac annually. Okay, so India is producing how much? 18,000 tons of unrefined raw lac annually. And out of that, out of this 18,000 tons of unrefined lac which is produced in India, out of which near about 85% of the lac is exported. Okay, so maximum lac we used to export to other countries, but little bit of this lac is being used in the India. And exported products are in the form of either shellac, they are either button lac, seed lac, de-waxed lac, bleach lac, or aleurotic acid. So it can be exported in different forms to different countries like USA, Germany, Egypt. Okay, these are the major countries which uh, import lac from India, right? Okay, then classification of lac, or this potential industries of the lac are classified into three main categories. The first category is regular lac cultivation area at present. There is only 20 to 25% of the total available trees are being utilized. How much? 20 to 25% of the total available trees are utilized for the regular lac culturing. Then the second criteria is that the moderate lac cultivation area, which is around 10 to 15% of available trees are being utilized. Whatever percentage is given, that is on the basis of available trees. Okay. And the third criteria or third category is that the lac host trees are available, but due to lack of knowledge and awareness. No doubt trees are there on which the lac culturing can be done, but the knowledge that these trees can be used for the lac culturing as a host plant, that knowledge is not there, awareness is not there among the people, right? And none of the trees are utilized for the lac cultivation. Thus, on an average, there is 15% of available lac host trees towards the farmer, but out of which only 15% is being used by the farmer for the lac culturing presently, right? So there are vast untapped area which are ecologically favorable for the lac production in country, and these areas possess the potential for the lac production as it is rich in the host plant. Okay, and if it is exploited properly in a scientific and systematic manner, they are liable to enhance the lac production, even enhancing the exploration of the idle or unexploited lac host plants in a favorable lac producing areas can also enhances the lac production, right? So still in our countries there is a vast scope for lac production. Now one can ask a question that whatever we just saw, the applications of lac in various aspects, but how it is economically important to us as a farmer or as a lac grower, right? This question can come in mind of anybody else, right? Okay, then let's go ahead and see what are the net profit we can earn from the host plant per crop cycle. Okay, now here is the rupees 109 per plus plant per crop cycle, which is again very less. Rupees 202 to 1060 per bare plant per crop cycle, and rupees 1320 per kusum plant per crop cycle, right? So it means the profit which we earn from this culturing, that is you can say lac cultivation, is again variable, depend upon type of plant is used, right? So this is what the net profit we can get from one tree per crop cycle. That's all about the lac culture as well as economic importance of lac.